Hey guys, welcome back to Frances Quilts. Well, today on Free Motion Friday, we're going to be working on this sweet little quilt. It's time to get it quilted, and I can't wait just to sit down and start quilting. There's just so much freedom in doing that free motion quilting, and I just love it. Now, on this one, I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing at this point, so I'm going to start with what I know. That's the thing to do. If you can't figure it out, start with what you know. I know that I want to put lines running down each of these 2-inch squares like this, diagonal lines all the way across. So I'm going to do those first, and then by the time I finish those, I'm sure I will have figured out what I'm going to put in between those lines to fill it in more. Come on and let's start quilting. All right, I'm set up here and ready to go. I'm going to be quilting my diagonal lines through each of these points right here. I'm going to be using a ruler to do that. I am using a glide thread. Because it's a little bit thinner thread than what I have been using in recent quilts, I had to do a little bit of playing with my tension, changing my bobbin tension a little bit, loosening my bobbin tension a little bit, and tightening my top tension some. But I think I have a nice tension on it now, so let's go. We are using a ruler like this. We are going to place the ruler point. If I want my stitching to come through this point right here, I'm going to place my ruler 1/4 of an inch away from it so that the needle will come directly in that point. Let's move it over here so maybe you can see a little bit better. And let's go. A few small stitches just to lock them in place. Hit that first point. Got a little bit of drag going on here with this quilt hanging over the edge. Let me see if I can prop it up a little more so it's not doing that. Second point. Third point. Okay, I've ended up at the border here. I'm just going to quilt carefully in the ditch along to here and then go back the other direction. As I am doing this, I'm kind of looking underneath the needle here and looking to see this place right here. As soon as I hit that one, I'll start looking at this one up here. So I'm always kind of looking behind when I'm sewing this backwards. All right, 2 lines down, a few to go. Let me get those finished and I'll come back to you. You know how I said I was going to know what I was going to do by the time I finished all of those straight lines? Well, the straight lines are finished, and look, I have so many options of things to do. Trying lots of different rulers here and thinking about different things. I am leaning towards this one right here because it is a nice S shape that would fit right in here. I could come around here like this, and you come to here and then back to here, and then you pull it down. I think that will fit perfectly in that space, so I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do, but I may change my mind and do something with one of these in there. That would be fun. Or let's see, something like this I even thought about. Yeah, who knows? I think I'll probably just stick with my S's for right now. All right, I don't think I can go wrong with any of my picks. So I'm going to start with this S curve, and I'm just going to quilt it, though, in every other one of these channels here rather than every one of them. And so if I want to do something different in this channel, I can do that. So how we start with this one is with the foot right in that hook right there. And we are lining up here. I want this, this line right here on my ruler to be following along the points here. And I'm just going to quilt around the top of my S. Quilt around it. And for those of you that thread's driving you crazy, I will get rid of it. And now without moving this ruler, we're going to come back and we're going to stop with it at this line that's right here. So there's one S done. Now we're going to put this ruler back here so that the needle is lined up with that line back there. This line is lined up with our bottom here, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come forward until we hit the stop, and then we're going to come backwards and around. I got a little bit of drag going on here. That's the worst problem with machine quilting is drag. Come back and hit that stop. Come back forward till we come back to that line. Okay, we're back now ready to do our arcs that we're going to do from point to point here and like this and this all the way down. I have marked my center point here so that I will have something that I'm going to be aiming for with each one of my stitches. I have decided to switch to a different ruler. I am using Shelley, designed by Angela Walters. I could use this outside arc here or this inside one, but I found that the inside one was easier to work with. So all I'm doing is I'm putting my ruler here up against my ruler foot here and 1/4 inch away here, and I'm just going to make my arc, stitch my arc here. Let's do it. Reach the middle, I'm going to scoot it down, line up here, and go again. Now I'm going to go all the way around the quilt and then come back and do the other side. So hang on, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back where I started. I've done 3 sides of this one, and this is where I started before with my arcs. So I'm going to put this on here and quilt back to here. And then I'm just going to start coming from the other direction. I'm just going to bring this around like this. I want to meet that point right there. Even if that point is not exactly in the right spot, meet it anyway. That's what's going to make it work. And I'm not doing a great job, but close enough. Well, looking at this, I love the S quilting down every other one of those channels. And I really like the fact that I just put that single line of stitching down the other one. I think that is simple, but I think it helps to highlight the circular stitching that's in there as well. And let's go and have a look at the border. I think that those orange peels that I put in there worked really well. It makes a nice ending on the corners here. And I think it's just a great way to finish up this quilt. Well, you know, as I was putting the last few stitches on this top, I realized that this top was one that I did back in January, February when I was first starting with my year of the scraps. And it's the last one that I've quilted. So what a great way to bookend the beginning and the end of 2024. I think it's a good metaphor for how my year went. I used a lot of rulers in this quilt, and I want to encourage you to check out my course, Keeping It Straight, 8 Ways to Use a Straight Edge Ruler. It's a great way to start learning to use rulers and to gain some confidence in them. It's amazing how many different things you can do with just a straight edge ruler, and it's a great way to get started. Be sure and check it out. I've recently learned a new way of binding quilts, and I'm going to try it on this quilt. I will video it and let you know how it looks. I hope it works out well. And guys, thank you so much for joining me here today. And as always, I look forward to seeing you next time and next year on Frances Quilts.
Remember, if you like what you've seen, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please check out my website and daily blog at francesquilts.com, and I can be found on Facebook and Instagram at Frances Quilts. Thanks so much for joining me. Hope to see you again soon.